It was a double elimination week on the snake, and it was really anybody's guess who would be going home, but I did not think it would be our favorite cheerleader, MacLaine, and Tough as Nails lawyer, Amanda. But I'm so excited to get to visit with MacLaine right now. MacLaine, how are you, my friend?
I'm a little sad, obviously, that this is the week that I go home and everyone's seeing what happened, but I'm feeling pretty good. I made it pretty far, so I can't complain too much.
You really did. You made it really far, and I gotta say, tell me about your strategy going into the game,
Mhm.
and then obviously how your strategy kind of shifted when you met someone.
So my strategy going into the game, honestly, was to not have a strategy, right? I wanted to come across as the good girl that was just nice to everyone, that got along with everyone, because that's always the person that is underestimated, that people don't really watch out for. They're not seeing you coming. And that's exactly what I did. And the whole game, people kept saying she doesn't know what she's doing. She's not strategizing. She's not doing this and that. And really, all I was doing was getting people to like me the entire time. It's a social strategy. And I made it further than every other person there that was using manipulation and lying to get ahead. I made it further than them just because I was nice to people. And that was kind of my goal. I'm like, no one's going to really want to get me out if they don't think I'm a threat. And that could get me to the end. And I actually think it worked decently well.
It did. I mean, obviously it did, but then you met somebody named Jack.
Yeah.
Uh, Tell us, is what we saw on camera, I mean, was that real? I know it's a reality show, but was that real?
It was so real. And people really still don't believe me. And it happened like day one, minute one, when we popped out of the boxes. And they don't even show everything that really happened between us. Like it started day one. Like he came up to me and he was like, "You're my person. You're going to be my person here." And I didn't trust anyone. So I was like, "I don't trust you. Get away from me." I literally was like, "No." And we joke about it now because I was so rude to him the first day. But it was so real. And he was the only person that was genuinely honest and kind and nice to me the whole time. And we just kind of formed that connection really quickly. And it's been great.
Okay, speaking of him, you said something on the episode where they're playing the voices from that box,
Oh gosh.
and it's all these people talking bad about you. You said something, though, my co-host Maddie and I both, but something resonated with us. It was always about your game with Jack, and it was never complaining about Jack's game with you. Do you feel that was I felt it was very one-sided.
I do think it was very one-sided, and I think that has a little bit to do with my job and my personality and being a woman. Is people just associate cheerleading and girliness with weakness, right? So they're seeing me as a lovesick puppy. I have no thoughts. I have no backbone. They put all these characteristics together and tied it up with a pretty bow because of my relationship with Jack. And they didn't reflect that on him because he was like tougher and he was really good at the game and he was really good at challenges. And they just didn't reflect that on him as well. And I think that that just kind of is a bigger picture in society, as the woman kind of always gets the brunt of that with those types of situations. And the thing that I do appreciate is Jack actually defended me over and over when that kind of stuff happened. He's like, "She's not my shield. I'm not using her. She's the toughest one here." And he would always kind of back me up, which I appreciated. But it's definitely frustrating to be the only one seen as weak because of that relationship.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. It's like she's getting the brunt end of this when it takes,
Oh yeah.
there's two people involved right here. This episode was very hard to watch at the beginning. This shocking challenge, it was very shocking. And we saw a side of you that we hadn't seen. You really were super emotional during this challenge. What was it like to be there in that moment and hear what you heard and have to go through that? Because we really saw a different side of you.
It gave me nightmares for weeks after that. And I don't even think that you're able to understand how scary it was, because you have to remember it is dead silent out there. There's no sound, there's no music, production's quiet. You're in the middle of a jungle. It's pitch black, like no one's talking to you. It's very eerie. You don't hear anything besides zapping and screams, like, and you're blindfolded. It feels like a horror movie. And as a human, just in real life, like I can't even squish bugs without feeling bad. Like I can't, I feel bad for spiders. I can't do it. And you want me to like zap people? It's just, it was so against everything in my nature in a way that I didn't even expect. And I think at that point too, like we are overtired, we're hungry, we're living off of water and wine, we're stuck in this pressure cooker. Like I was already up here, and then you throw me into this eerie challenge that's like against ever like my being. And I put that collar on and I'm like, I feel like I'm in a twisted horror film. And it just broke something inside me. And I studied psych in college, and there was a psych study done very similarly to this that they never replicated because it was unethical. And that was the first thing I thought of when I heard of the challenge. And then we did it, and my brain just exploded. It's not good for me.
I mean, I was right there with you. I was like, oh, I can't even imagine what that felt like. So, but let's say, okay, you get through the challenge. You know there's a double-headed snake. Now, here's my issue with this. I want to know your opinion because you were there. It feels to me like Jordan was running the show. I don't feel like Brett was even part of the double-headed snake because I don't feel like he stood up or got anything his way. So what's the point of having a double-headed snake? Because Jordan was very adamant. She kind of ran the show. Is that how it felt leading up to that final snake pit with you and Amanda?
That's exactly how it felt. Yeah, Jordan is very outspoken in the best way. She's very strong-willed. She's very energetic. And Brett, I think part of his strategy was flying under the radar. And I think that's exactly what he did, right? Because if he painted a giant target on his back, made it to the finale, we didn't know what was going to happen. That could hurt him in the long run. And I think that's probably why he did that. But he had like no say in anything. And that's why I was so frustrated, because I knew Jordan wasn't going to crack with Frankie and Alyssa. I knew it. I kind of gave up. I was like, I can't get through to her. And I'm trying to tell her over and over. I'm like, they do not have your back. Like, they do not have your back. And she wouldn't listen to me. And I couldn't crack Brett. And it was just frustrating because I knew once I lost Jordan that I was going to get sent home because Brett didn't have the chutzpah, if you will.
Right. See, because I kind of felt, though, since you were aligned with Jack, and Jack and Brett were so close the whole time, I kind of thought that he would have at least your back in that situation.
There was a split second when I did, too. I was definitely shocked when he didn't defend me at all, just because we really did build a very close relationship that you don't even really see on the show. But at the end of the day, Brett is ruthless. He does not care who he hurts, who he zaps, who he sends home, because he wants to win. And I kind of knew that. I'm like, this guy doesn't really care at the end of the day, besides like taking care of himself and Jack, and anyone else didn't really matter.
Right. Well, and speaking of Jack, I have to ask the obvious question here, MacLaine. Where do you and Jack stand as of today? Can you tell me any tea to spill?
Yes. Well, we're still dating. Literally right after the show, we got our phones back. He messaged me within a minute of getting his phone. He bought me a plane ticket to Austin and flew me there. It's like we got home, I flew out to Austin 2 days later, just because we wanted to see each other outside of the camera and be like, okay, let's figure this out. And we just hit it off. I met his parents. We've been going back and forth pretty frequently. I see him a lot, actually. He came here. We went to Nashville. We've done trips. I'm actually going to Austin this weekend, too, to see him. So it's been really good.
Okay, that makes my heart happy. If there's one good thing to come out of this, the shock treatment, but at least you got a boyfriend. Yeah. I love what you said at the end of the episode, too. You're like, well, I didn't get the money, but I got a boyfriend.
Listen, like I wanted both, but I'll take the man. I'm pretty happy.
I'm so excited. Okay, so now, you did the show. Now you've been eliminated. I've asked every eliminated player the same question. I want your opinion. Of the remaining players left, I think I know who you're going to say. Who do you feel is the strongest player?
I honestly do think it's Jack, and that has nothing to do with my relationship with him. I've thought that the entire game. He knows the inner workings of every single person's mind in the same way that Derek does, but he's not explaining it the same way that Derek is. And people are really underestimating how well he's really anticipating everyone's moves and what they're going to do, who they like, who they don't like. He can see everything. And on top of that, he's just good at the challenges. I think him and Derek were the top runners of the entire game.
I agree with you. I mean, I'm sorry you're out, but now I love all of you guys so much. It's just crazy to watch the show, and I am just a viewer watching, and I'm at the edge of my seat. So I've loved everything I've seen. I cannot wait for the finale next week, and now I want to come to an Indianapolis Colts game.
You have to. Listen, our games are fun. We have good entertainment. I'm trying to get Jack to a couple games. You guys got to make it out here. We have a good time.
I would love to. MacLaine, you are a delight. You were great on TV. I loved watching your journey. I'm sad it's over, but wish you the best of luck, and hopefully we'll see you at a Colts game.
I hope so. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.